Assalamu alaikum. If you really want to start a business, but you've been procrastinating on it for months or years, then you're not alone. But alhamdulillah, I overcame my procrastination to build a business, to coach hundreds of Muslim men on business and life, and generate over $2 million in the process throughout my business career. In this video, you're going to learn exactly why you're procrastinating on it and how to overcome that, like so many others have done, including myself, to go on to build a business that fuels the life that you're looking for. So lock in and let's go. Bismillah. So procrastinating on starting a business is kind of like getting into a plane to do a parachute jump. You know, you've told everybody you're about to do it. You got on the plane, you're all strapped up, you got the kit on, you got the parachute on, and now you're getting closer to that moment where you've got to jump. Maybe the instructor, the trainer there is with you and they're telling you, okay, it's ready, let's go. You got the GoPro on, you're taking all these selfies. You're telling everybody that, yeah, I'm gonna do it, we're gonna do it, let's go, let's go. And the time comes to jump and the fuel's running out of the plane and the plane's like, we're gonna have to land, you have to jump, let's go. And you just don't jump. And the worst thing is that the longer you wait to jump, the scarier it gets. The more you look down at the sky and at the ground below you, the more you're less likely to jump. A time will come where the plane just lands and you would have never jumped from that plane. You would have never started your business. The problem with this specifically for Muslim men is that Allah expects us to lead the ummah, to lead our families to the best way of living for their akhirah in the first place, as well as for their dunya, of course. So whenever we think of, yeah, it'd be great to live in a better country or better neighborhood for the kids, or take them to better schools, or be able to homeschool them or get them tutors, or to move to a place where my wife will feel more comfortable, or to be able to just afford Hajj or put work to the side for a bit while my mother got ill. All of these things are the reasons that us Muslim men want to start business. And that's why you're already, inshallah, getting reward for that intention. But if we don't do it, who will do it? If the Muslim men of this world will not do it, who will do it? Firstly, we're Muslim. We need to be at the forefront of anything good. And we have our akhirah that we need to focus on and fix and use our dunya for that akhirah goal. And we're men. We're leaders in this world. And Allah chose us to be leaders. And so we have to act like it. And this is the danger of procrastinating on something so vital for the prosperity of our dunya and akhirah. And yes, you can do some of those things I mentioned with a job, but everything gets so much easier when you have a business, when you're doing business full time, and especially an online business that I know a lot of you want to start. And sometimes we get these whispers from shaitan that tell us, oh, that's dunya anyway, that's just money. Oh, you want to start a business, you're going to give up family time to work on a business, which is dunya. But the truth is, most of us, we don't want a business just for dunya. We want a business for those reasons, like being able to live in that country, be able to do Hajj, be able to take care of our wider family financially, whatever it is. These are the reasons we do it. So we are actively trying to use and mold the dunya to serve our akhirah. But sometimes shaitan tries to put us off that. And the deeper problem here is that business takes a while. There are a lot of videos out there telling you it'll take 1 or 2 months, but most of the time it takes a while. So if it takes a year for you to build up a business, every year you delay, that's another year added to that 1 year wait time. And so the sooner you start, the better. The sooner you destroy your procrastination, the better. The reality is, it took me 4 or 5 years from when I took a real strong interest in business to when I went full time on it. For you, it might take 1 year, but it also might take more than 5 years. And it's fully worth it, by the way. But that just means you need to start today and not in a few months or years. So the question is, a lot of us know these things and the powerful reasons that we want to start a business, but we're still procrastinating on it. So how do we fight back, destroy those procrastination factors and take aggressive action on our business goals so that we get success sooner rather than later? And the first part of that ladder that you need to step up is to have the long-term mindset. See this as something that you're going to get better at over time. It's not something that's gonna happen in 2 months, 3 months. I actually know people that made money very, very quickly. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars per month at age 18. But They then didn't have the hiring skills, the management skills. I mean, this brother, a very good friend of mine, very successful, mashallah, but he used to manage his staff over WhatsApp chat, over Facebook Messenger. He never wanted to have calls with people. And so that meant that he was never able to really hire the top talent that would allow him to really scale that business. And ultimately, that business kind of went downhill. So what this means for you is getting the long-term mindset that eventually you're going to build up the skills over time and you're going to become a very skilled businessman. All the skills that are required as a businessman, you're going to eventually develop them. But today, you're a beginner. So you're just starting with the two main skills as a beginner, which is marketing and sales. And you know, in terms of having a long-term mindset, my client Ahmed told me recently, Hamza recently helped him get his first sale, which is always the sweetest, $450 in his bank account, fully profit, alhamdulillah. But what he was telling me is, he was thinking that he might get a different job so he can move to the Muslim world sooner before the business really can support him full time. And he said something which really shows his long-term mindset. And this is why, inshallah, he's going to be successful. He said, I'm going to do this business regardless. Whether I have this job in the US, whether I get a remote job that allows me to live in the Muslim world, I'm still going to be working on this business regardless. So because he has that long-term mindset, he doesn't make short-term decisions, and he's more resilient because he expects it to take a little bit longer than what these videos on YouTube tell you anyway. Also, when it comes to thinking long-term, at the beginning, especially of just making enough money, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month in order to go full-time on the business, think of a combination lock. You need to get the right combination of people you're selling to, problem that you're solving for them, and the solution you're offering them. These three things, imagine it in your head now. Imagine twisting those things. Okay, you've got two of them lined up, and now you're tweaking this one. Okay, did it work? Okay, did it unlock? Okay, now you're full-time in business. That's what it is. And sometimes that will take 1 month, and sometimes it will take 10 months, 20 months. But all you have to do is get the right combination of people you're serving, problem you're solving, and solution you're offering them, and then eventually it will work. The next thing you need to change in your mindset, and I know this for sure because I've coached hundreds of Muslim men on their business, and that is that you need to be able to look just at the step you're at now in business. So a lot of people, here's the analogy, where you go to the gym and it's the first day working out in the gym, and then you tell your personal trainer, your coach, or your friend who's helping you, you're like, oh, but what if I get too big and my clothes don't fit me and women not attracted to me or whatever it is? And it's like, bro, you're just doing your first day in the gym. To get to that next level, bulky kind of look, Arnold Schwarzenegger look, you're going to need years in the gym. But that's what people do in business a lot of the time. They're just deciding on what product they would sell to which people, and they're worried about what's going to happen when the client has actually paid me, and then what do I do? And then I'm just like, that's weeks away, maybe months away, depending how fast you work. And so don't worry about those things. If I worried about how I'm going to manage a $10 million a month business today, I would not take action today. You have to just focus on the step that's right in front of you. And alhamdulillah, that's something that I always tell my clients, and it's something that I always work on myself. And I don't do it anymore. I never worry about what's coming forward. I always believe that Allah will help me with that when the time comes, and the time hasn't come yet. So let me not worry about that now. And of course, a huge mindset problem is the fear that you will fail. Fail in front of your friends and family, fail in front of yourself because you just don't want to spend time or money on something and it doesn't work. This is a fear that overwhelms so many people. And the way to overcome this is just think to yourself, the man in the Indian street selling samosa on a cart, do you think he's thinking like that? Like, oh, what if this fails? What if it doesn't work? No, he's just trying to make a living, put food on the table. And he started small with a little cart, and he's doing his best. That's because he never thought of business as such a big deal. He's just trying to make a living. And then when you think about that guy and you think of how many people in the world are self-employed or making money for themselves in their own business, basically, how many are there? Are there a billion? Probably. There's a billion people working for themselves. Are there even 2 billion? That's possible. I don't know the numbers, but there are hundreds of millions of people who are making a living for themselves. And guess what? The people that have a job and the people that have a business are both being sustained by Allah anyway. So don't worry about this business thing being a big deal. Yes, you're starting in something new, but what happens with something new? Just like you learned to walk, you didn't know one day, you tried a little bit, you fell over, you got up, you fell over again, you fell over, hit your head on the table corner, you got up, and eventually you could walk. I always tell my wife about kids and they're not talking and, oh, shouldn't they be talking by now? Shouldn't this have happened to them by now? I always tell her, look, as long as they can talk by age 16, it's all good. Meaning that it will come. At some point it will come. right? Same with business. If you just work on it bit by bit, you work on it, you put time in it, yes, you take action on it, and you take step by step and focus on the next step, not the 10th step ahead of you, you will get it, inshallah. Ah, yes, the other big procrastinating blocker is the idea. I need a good idea to start in business or to succeed in business. You don't need a good idea. This is a myth. This applies to a very small type of people who are trying to start a certain type of business. Maybe somebody who's already started a business, they sold it for like tens of millions, they're sitting on loads of money, and now they want to start a new business, and they are trying to pick an idea that is innovative, something that could be a $1 billion company, right? They sold their other company for 50 million. Now they want to go for the 500 million company, because for them, it's not about survival. It's just about playing the game of business and trying to level up themselves each time. But for you, you're just trying to make a living for now. You're a beginner in this, and that's fine. And that's beautiful, actually, right? For people like you and I, we don't need to come up with ideas or to wait for ideas to come to us. We actually have to go to the ideas. How do we do that? We simply look for a group of people that we want to work with, we want to serve as clients, and we find out what their problems are. The more you find problems, each one of those problems is an idea, is a business idea. So some people, they struggle to sleep. That's a business idea, helping people to sleep. Some people, their accounting is very messy in their business, and it's expensive and the software is bad and they always complain about the software. That's a problem, right? Well, that's a business idea then. Some people, they are overweight. It's affecting their lifestyle, their energy levels, their comfort, their confidence, and that's a problem. Therefore, it is a business idea, helping people to lose weight. So every problem in the world is a business idea. So we don't need to wait for business ideas to come to us. We need to go to the problems, and each problem is a business idea. It's really as simple as that. Business is solving people's problems. And finally, the big one that makes people procrastinate is they think they need money. They need to save up money. They're only saving £100 a month from their job, and they think they need £5,000 to start a business. So it's going to take them years before they can start their business. No, this is completely a myth, especially when it comes to online businesses. And for you, you should actually pick a business type that suits your situation. Some businesses need loads of money to start, and some businesses need very little bit of money to start. So if you don't have much money, you should start a business that doesn't need money. It's as simple as that. Don't think that this business is going to be the be all and end all. I have a business right now, but it doesn't mean that I believe I'm going to be operating that business in 10 years, 20 years. I don't know what's going to happen. And I don't think that way, that I'm married to this. So I'm working in a business now. Maybe you start a business now and it doesn't require money. Maybe in the future, you'll start a different business which does require money. But at that point, you will have money, so you can do it. But if you don't have money today, don't start a business that needs money. And in fact, the best businesses to just make a living off and to have money coming in every month and to pay your bills and live your lifestyle, the best businesses don't need money. I initially started a marketing agency with £0. £0. Me and my two business partners, we all put 500 or £1,000 into the pot of the business, but we never spent that money. That money is still there today, because we got our first client who paid us £800 per month, and we used some of that £800 to get a website and get some branding and stuff just to look more professional. And then we got another client and another client, and it was all 100% profit pretty much. So we didn't need any money. After that, we started to pivot a little bit into more of a training business. How did we do that? How much money did it cost for us to start that business? It cost nothing. We called some people that we knew that might be interested, and we said, would you be interested in a training program that would show you and your team this thing when it comes to marketing? They said yes. We said the price would be this much. They said yes, and they paid us. Before we even recorded those videos and those trainings, they paid us. We had about somewhere between 5 and 10 customers pay us real money before we even recorded that. And so again, it was 100% profit, and we didn't invest any money in that. And the same goes for many business types. You don't need a lot of money, and a lot of the best business types, you don't need money to start anyway. So bro, what you need to know about business is that the biggest reason brothers are not succeeding in their business, it's not because of the business model. It's not because they don't have the money, they don't have the skills. It's purely because they're not taking action. They're procrastinating on taking the aggressive action. And I always say, if you are not going forward in your car, it doesn't matter how many times you turn the steering wheel, it will not turn, because you need to go forward to turn. So if you want to turn your life around, you need to go forward. You need to take action, and then you can turn your life around. Any kind of action gives you momentum. Any kind of action gives you learnings and feedback to improve over time. So your biggest blocker for your business is actually your procrastination. It's nothing else. If you could remove that procrastination, then you would take more action and you would bit by bit get progress, momentum, and success, inshallah, over time. That is your only main problem. And that is what I found. When I slowly stripped the procrastination away from my life, I stopped the 3 factors that cause procrastination. 1, mindset problems. Number 2, lack of specific goals. And number 3, lack of measuring my progress and accountability. Once I got these things sorted out, and it did take some time because I had to work on it myself and find the solutions myself, then alhamdulillah, very quickly, I went full time on business. So in order to fully understand what these 3 things are and see the bigger picture of why you procrastinate and how much it really impacts you in your life and gets you caught in what I call the comfort trap, then watch this video on screen right now. It's going to explain the whole bigger picture and get you moving towards your business dreams sooner than ever, inshallah. Go and watch it right now. Go.